Hello and welcome to 3.0 TV. I am Manoj Dara. So, recently, tokenized gold assets surpassed $1 billion in combined market capitalization on Tuesday, according to data by the crypto price tracker CoinGecko. As gold prices near its all-time high, tokenized gold, which is actually a type of stablecoin that pegs its price to the gold, while the tokens on the blockchain represents ownership of physical gold managed by its issuer. It offers investors a way to get exposure to the precious metal without the management fees of an exchange-traded fund or the burden of the storing gold bullions. The two largest gold stablecoins by far are Pax Gold, issued by the New York-based fintech firm Paxos Trust Company, and the Tether Gold, issued by the Tether, the same company behind the $80 billion peg stablecoin USDT. So, as of now, the market cap of PAXG and XAUT is $518 million and $499 million respectively, which is actually a big number. Joining the conversation from Dubai on this important topic, we have invited Naveen D'Souza, co-founder and CEO of Comtech Gold. Naveen, welcome on 3.0 TV.
Thank you, Manoj.
And so, my first question to you is, Naveen, recently we have seen depegging of dollar-pegged stablecoins and algorithmic stablecoins. So, do you think this gold-backed stablecoins are a safer bet, since you are in the business of, and if you can just educate our viewers on this?
Yeah, so this is where we see a lot of adoption. So even for Comtech Gold, which we started in last May 2022, and in a series of 1 year, we have already tokenized 141 kgs of physical gold in partnership with DMCC. And we are seeing a great adoption from not only retail, but also from institutional investors across the gold-backed stablecoins. See, from my perspective, it's definitely a safer bet, because what you're trying to do is not create a new currency, but you're only trying to bring in the digital gold. So you're allowing investors to have an exposure in gold in a digital form, which is 100% backed by actual gold. So if you see historically, dollar was again backed by gold, and there used to be 1:1 backing. But over time, the leverage element in the printing of dollars has gone to new heights and limits. If you see, there are reports of the amount of dollars which have been printed in the last 2 years is something which is surprising and amazing. So with regards to gold, there is no overexposure. We're talking about a 1:1 gold coin. And with the digital currency, it gives you a flexibility and option to actually redeem it for physical gold.
Fantastic. Can you just help us explain, Naveen, since your company is already into this similar segment, and hence we are having this conversation as well. What are the positive takeaways from the other ecosystem adopting this kind of strategy?
See, it is going back to the initial gold standard time when gold was considered as a currency. And over time, it lost its value as a currency because of two major reasons. One is fungibility and transferability.
All right.
Because gold was difficult to be transferred across people. It is difficult to break gold into smaller parts to exchange. And that's where the paper currency came into picture. Now, over time, technology is enabled us to bring these two features which were lost back into gold. With the blockchain technology, with the gold token, now we're able to dissect gold into smaller denominations of 0.0001 gram or so. And if you want to transfer the value of gold to somebody else, you can transfer the ownership of gold using blockchain technology. So for gold to be used as a mode of payment, you don't want the actual gold to move around.
Exactly.
So that's just an asset which can lie in one place. But with blockchain and the digitalization of gold, it enables you to use gold as a currency. So going back to the standard days, where you go back to the actual currency rather than printed papers.
Sure, Naveen. Since we're talking about this safe haven bet, and going forward, the price of gold, a traditional safe haven asset, has risen since March amid investors' concerns about falling banks and possible government bailout, a scenario which is well known to the entire financial industry, which could lead to an expanding, fiat market supply and the current devaluation. And if we talk about its investments and the prospect going forward, apart from private players such as Paxos and Tether, now government is also showing interest in this gold-backed digital currency. What's your view on that?
See, we see it as a way to come. So if you see hundreds of years earlier, JP Morgan also said that gold is money and everything else is paper. And if you see from a devaluation perspective, if you see the price of gold during the 1970s, used to have 1 ounce of gold priced at around $38 to $40. And if you talk about close to 50 years later, the same gold is now priced at $2,000. So which clearly says its own story about the devaluation which has happened after the dollars kind of thing. So this is where now people are trying to go back to the olden days, go back to the actual asset value and use that as a mode of currency. So as you rightly said, in Texas, two of the governors said that they want to launch a digital gold currency. And this is not something new. If you look at from that perspective, even various governments have launched in what you call that gold bonds,
Exactly.
gold debts. You have ETFs coming into picture, which allows investor to have an access to gold without actually buying or storing the physical gold. Because gold is difficult to store, gold is difficult to manage and expensive to store. So why you want to have the investor store it? You can have an exposure to it and enjoy the benefit of gold.
Sure.
So this is what the safe haven continues. And with the rising inflation, if you see the amount of dollars which is printed, it is better for you to convert your dollars into gold and hold them digitally. That is going to fetch you far better value as compared to actual dollars.
Sure, since we're talking about Texas, who has created a gold-backed digital currency, and do you think this trend will continue? So, say for example, if you talk about India, is well known for its private wealth in form of the gold. So, how do you see this scenario changing for India? Not on the retail participation front, but on the government. Do you see this move happening in India ever?
But this will come up. This has come up because the advantage what digital gold is brought in as compared to various efforts by government back time. So it is not that India never tried to have the gold back into the custody and treasury, and it went on various schemes where it told people that you can give in your gold and we give you bonds against it and you can digitalize your gold. But the difference between then and now is at that time they were trying to working out with jewelry. And jewelry, apart from the value in gold, has an emotional value, attachment, sentiments to it. And we Indians, the moment you decide that you have to sell your gold, that means your days are numbered. But now with the digital currency, you are removing the emotional attachment away from it, and you're trying to just do it from an investment perspective.
Exactly.
So this is the way forward. Secondly, many of them are now looking at saying that when you make it as a mode of payment, I don't have to involve US dollar into it. I don't want to involve SWIFT into it. I don't want to involve banking into it. What is a payment? Payment is where I transfer a value to you. It can be in any form. It's going back to the barter days. So why do I need to get it into dollars where the various countries are fighting that no, we should have trades in euros, we should have trades in gold, we should have trades in dollars. So everybody is now looking at a central currency which can be gold.
Exactly. So Naveen, one last question before we let you go. You have seen the current cryptocurrency market rally, and we are talking about Bitcoin, which is often called digital gold due to its program coded supply, which is, we have seen Bitcoin rallying over $30,000, a level which was seen in last June 2022, and it has actually been in sync with the gold's movement. So earlier when this institutional adoption was not seen in the cryptocurrency market, so Bitcoin once used to follow the style of gold. I mean, the safe haven tag it used to have. Once it was institutionalized, we have seen a lot of investors coming in, big investors coming in. It used to follow the traditional financial markets. So how this BTC correlation with the gold, which has hit a multi-year high last week, surpassing equities, digital asset markets, a research firm has actually mentioned about this as well. A lot of research firms are already talking about it as a safe haven tag. What's your view as far as a company who is actually operating in this space of stable coins which is backed by gold?
See, if I have different views on that. So if we talk about from a Bitcoin perspective, if something which was trading at $60,000, moving to $18,000 and now back to $30,000, I don't see it's a safe haven. So specifically from a gold perspective, a movement of 1 or 2% is a big movement.
Exactly.
And the entire concept of the digital backed gold is there is a gold backing. It's not algorithm. It's not some technology, it's actual physical gold. So these two, yes. Now in a trend where Bitcoin is moving up, again it started looking at saying that okay, it's a new gold. We should not go into traditional gold. But looking at the volatility which Bitcoin has, I don't consider it as a safe haven.
Sure, that sums up the conversation. Well, if you are not keen on buying physical gold but still want to take exposure in the digital format, gold-backed stable coins is a promising option. That's a word coming in from Naveen. Thank you so much for sharing your views on 3.0 TV. It was a pleasure having you. That's all there is in this today's special segment. We'll meet again with more such interesting updates. Keep watching 3.0 TV. Thank you.